Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
And welcome to today's episode. This is a special edition, and this is your host, b-alan-bourgeois, and we do encourage you to drop everything and read. But we're also talking today about the authors and helping them get reviewed. So with us, we have a gentleman by the name of Dan Rapp, who is with Kirkus Reviews, and he's going to talk about what Kirkus is. David Rapp.
That's all right.
He's going to be talking about Kirkus Reviews and what it is. So let's start with the fact, David, that Kirkus has been around for a long time. What did it start as, and how has it grown over the years?
Well, Kirkus Reviews started back in 1933. It started by Virginia Kirkus, and it started. I mean, it performed the same function that it does today in giving librarians and others in the industry, and as well as booksellers, a heads up on what is coming down the line from publishers, and basically reviewing books, pointing out what the best and worst ones are.
Okay. And who does the actual reviews?
We have a large pool of freelance reviewers that do the reviews for us on both the traditional and on the indie side.
And these reviewers have some kind of knowledge and background to be qualified?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have reviewers from all different kinds of fields. There are college professors, there are people in publishing, a wide range of expertise.
Okay. So you have your basic reviews, and then you have your indie author reviews. What's the difference between them?
Okay. Well, the traditional side of our review. That's books that are published by traditional publishing companies. The indie side is self-published reviews generally, although we do have some small publishers that take advantage of it as well.
So what is the advantage for a small press to go one versus the other? Is there an advantage?
Well, I mean, anyone can submit a review to the traditional side, but if it's not chosen, and it can be hard for a self-published author in general to attract attention to their book. So the Kirkus Indie side is the Kirkus Indie side basically gives self-published authors a way to get their book reviewed. And it's a paid service.
Okay, so is the traditional a free service?
Traditional is free, but a very small percentage of books that are published generally are reviewed by Kirkus on the traditional side.
Okay, so it's an actual process to be determined if it should be reviewed, is what I'm understanding on the traditional side.
I'm sorry?
If I'm understanding you correctly, it sounds like that's a specific program on the traditional side to review, to see even if it gets a review from Kirkus first, and if it is approved, then it does get the review.
Yes, publishers will submit their books to the traditional side of the magazine, and our editors, our fiction editor and nonfiction editor, decide which books out of these submissions are to be reviewed.
Okay, so for an indie author, if they choose to go the indie route, then they're guaranteed a review regardless if they pay the fee.
Yes, they are. They're guaranteed a review. The reviews are held to the same high standards as the traditional side. The review that they receive can be positive, it can be negative, it can be somewhere in the middle. But the one thing about the indie process is that if an author is, for some reason, does not want to have that review published, they can choose not to have it published. whether it's published or not is up to the author. But if they do decide to have it published, it's published on the website. And if it's published on the website, there is a possibility it will also get published in the indie section of the magazine as well.
Okay. And that was another question I had for you. So reviews start at $350, but that's for a picture book. For a more traditional book, which is a regular fiction book, you start at $425 and can go up and higher depending on the options you have.
Right.
With the traditional review, which is $425, okay, you have the option to do an expedited. And just to be clear, the traditional review takes 7 to 9 weeks, but the expedited, how long does that take?
That's 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, so it just cuts it down a little bit.
Yeah, it cuts it down by at least 1 week with the expedited option, but up to 3 weeks.
Okay, so for an individual author, indie author, they would go to kirkusreviews.com, select the indie reviews options. They would request the review, pay the fine, then go ahead and you would then submit back to them via email information on how they can then submit the book, which would either be a PDF or a physical copy, correct?
Basically, actually the easiest way to go would be to go to reviewmybook.com, which is a Kirkus site, and that guides an author through the entire process. You can purchase a review directly on that site. You can also upload a PDF or a Word document, or if you prefer, you can send physical copies through the mail.
Okay, and usually for a physical copy, you only ask for about 2 copies, correct?
2 copies, yes. One for our editors and one that we send to the reviewer.
Okay, so they've created a dashboard on your system. They've submitted the books, and you then put information on the dashboard as to the process, where they stand in the process, being reviewed, not reviewed, or whatever. Is that accurate?
Well, once the review process is done and we've received the review from the reviewer, it's gone through the whole editing process, and we return it to the author. At that point, it appears on the dashboard. And
that's when they can then download it and use it or choose not to use it.
At that point, they can decide to publish it on the website or not. And if they do decide to publish it on the website, they can then use any text in the review for their own marketing purposes, for quotes on their books or whatever they wish to use it for.
Okay.
And also, as I said, and then once it's on the website, there's a possibility that it will be printed in the magazine as well.
Which brings up the next question I had for you. When somebody has chosen, they love the review, they think it's going to really help them sell their books and stuff, and they've chosen to go ahead and have it published on the Kirkus system, and the possibility, as you say, for them to possibly be put into the magazine, what other possibility is there for them to get airtime? I know the director or the editor of the organization does airtime with local stations promoting books. Would the indie authors have that opportunity as well, or is that totally separated for the traditional?
Well, we do have a podcast called Fully Booked, and we have a service, another paid service where you can purchase an interview that will appear on that podcast as well. We do have that service.
And how much is that service?
I do not have that information in front of me, but that information is also on the website.
Is that what's considered the Pro Connect?
Well, Pro Connect is a separate thing. That Pro Connect is a service that we provide that basically gives authors a page that's accessible on the Kirkus site, which has all of the reviews that they've gotten in Kirkus, and it allows publishers and other industry people sort of access to the author, and they can see their reviews on this page, and and it gives authors a way to be accessible to people in the industry.
Okay. I real quickly went to the podcast site. Podcast One is what it's called, and people can look at it as podcast1.com. What is the killer deals?
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
What is the killer deals? When I clicked on that, there's a whole bunch of listings. Are these podcasts that you guys are associated with where the book can be listed?
No. Podcast One does a lot of different podcasts. Kirkus's podcast Fully Booked is just one of them. They're a separate company.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave that alone and let people go through and figure that one out later. So we only have a couple minutes left of this segment, and I'm really curious to understand, and I'm going to actually have you answer this when we come back from our sponsors break, but why should somebody consider doing a Kirkus review? I'm going to let you pause on that, and we'll come back to that answer in just a moment. But in the meantime, we're going to step away and let our sponsors do their thing, okay?
Okay.
Gatekeeper Press is a full-service publishing house and distribution aggregator that prides itself on offering the highest quality self-publishing services in the industry. Gatekeeper authors earn 100% of their proceeds, retain 100% of their rights, and work one-on-one with their own author manager who delivers a 100% author-centric hand-holding experience. In addition to working with individual authors, Gatekeeper Press works behind the scenes for publishers of all sizes, and due to its efficiency and quality, also white labels its service to other self-publishing companies. Gatekeeper Press' mission is to open the gates of the book publishing world by offering the highest quality services at affordable prices. To learn more or to read some of the testimonials, go to gatekeeperpress.com.
Love to read? Love to meet authors in person? Then check out bookfestival.network to find a book festival in your region of Texas. We are adding book festival events throughout the year, so sign up to get notices and even a coupon towards purchase of a Texas author's book. Sign up at bookfestival.network. Texas Authors is proud to be a supporter of indiebeacon.com, a website that supports indie authors from around the world. If you are looking for help with marketing or getting published, indiebeacon.com can assist you. Years of experience by the founder is available to any indie author looking for help. indiebeacon.com, a place for creative souls to find help in marketing their creations. Hello, Texas authors. My name is Randy James, coming to you from my Carrollton recording studio, where I spend time writing and producing commercials for my radio endorsement clients, as well as my private freelance clients. I'd like the opportunity to help you sell more books with a commercial like this and get listeners of Dear Texas Radio excited about your title, all at a special introductory price, available to members of the Texas Association of Authors. Call or text 214-762-1942. That's 214-762-1942.
With only 2 golden rings, 10 days worth of supplies, and the guidance of an old redwood tree, Toby and Cameron Hunter begin the journey of a lifetime. Get your copy of The Guardian by L.M. Nelson, available as a paperback or an ebook at your favorite bookstore now.
Do you love to read great new ebooks? Visit ebg247.com. Be the first to discover the next bestseller. At ebg247, we have the web's largest selection of great new book reads, from that amazing new fiction or nonfiction to horror, romance, and fantasy. We even have today's best children's books. That's ebg247.com. New books arrive daily, and all ebooks start at just 99 cents. If you love to read, then you'll love ebg247.com. Low prices, large selection, and an easy-to-use website. It's all only at ebg247.com.
Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
And welcome back to the special edition of Dear Texas. We have with us, Kirkus Reviews, and the gentleman is David Rapp, and he is talking about indie reviews and the process of reviews. And before we went away for our commercial break, our sponsors, I asked David a question about why people should use Kirkus Reviews. So, David, sell it.
Well, I have to say that the best part of getting a Kirkus Indie review is it allows self-published authors a way to get noticed by people in the industry, in the publishing industry, and even in the film industry. We've had a couple of success stories. Sylvain Newbell, a science fiction author who wrote Sleeping Giants, he got a Kirkus Indie review, and that book was optioned for film. Also, there's a series of books called The Gaia Wars and by Kenneth Bennett, and that was optioned back in 2012 for film. And Darcy Chen, a best-selling author who's a self-published author, she got a Kirkus Indie review, and her book sold over 500,000 copies, and she was very satisfied with the whole Kirkus Indie process, and it helps authors get noticed.
And to that extent, you do roughly 10,000 reviews per year. And there's over 1 million books being published per year. So, I mean, that seems to be way out of whack. Is it just simply because people don't know the value of you or about you?
Well, I mean, we get many more books submitted to the traditional side than we review. We only review only the books that we feel are the most notable. Naturally, the number of books that are reviewed in Kirkus are going to be less than all the books that are published. But the thing about Kirkus Indie is that when when an author purchases a Kirkus Indie review, they're guaranteed to get a review, and they have the option to publish it on our website or not.
And so back to your magazine and the website, your website gets approximately 2 million impressions per month. I mean, I'm trusting that's unique viewers, or at least people coming to view on a continuous basis. And the magazine, from what your website is saying, gets 15,000 reviews through the magazine circulation. So that sounds nice. But again, why you versus somebody else?
Kirkus has been doing this, as I said, since 1933, and we have a tremendous reputation. We have great credibility in the area. Kirkus's reviews are well respected throughout the industry, and when a person gets a Kirkus review, people know that it's a high quality review, and that's what we bring and offer to the process.
Okay. So over the years, publishing in itself has changed immensely. And one of the key things was about reviews, whether you get a free review or a paid review. And for so long, people have been saying, or the industry has been saying, you do not want to pay for a review because then you're looking like an indie author for all practical purposes, right? You're not really credible in that respect. So you guys had started this process a few years ago. So why this paid service versus still doing a free service for indie authors?
Well, we wanted to be able to offer a service to self-published authors, so that they would have a way to get their voice heard. As you said, that there's many books that are published each year, but this is a guaranteed way for self-published writers to be able to get their book out there and seen. We keep the process so that we have the same high standards for Kirkus Indie reviews as we do for any of our other reviews. Our reviews will give an honest review of the book, and it can be positive, it can be negative, it could be mixed, but we guarantee to give an honest assessment of the book, and people know this about Kirkus, and so a paid review it has the same standing as the review on our traditional side. So when people see a Kirkus Indie review, they know that it's an honest review. It gives the honest merits of the book that's being reviewed.
And just so that the people who are listening, the authors out there, you do have the option of doing what's called a 2-book bundle and a 3-book bundle. And I'm assuming those would be more appropriate for series-type books. Is that correct?
We do have authors that do it for series, but we also have authors that have non-series books that purchase that option, just so they can have all the different books that they've written reviewed. But yes, I mean series is most common, but it's not the only way that people use the bundles.
Okay. With the few minutes we have left, we know that Kirkus reviews do get published in a variety of ways, whether it be on radio shows, newspapers, things of that nature. So there's good value there. Do you have recommendations and/or encouragement for authors as far as the process of writing and getting published?
I have to say that any author, it's hard to write a book, and it's hard to put it out there to be reviewed. But in order to get your name out there, in order to get your book recognized, you have to be willing to put it out there in the market and let people see the merits of the book for what they are. So, I mean, I would say just don't be afraid to get your book out there, to have people get it in front of people and have people see it.
And I just want to remind our listeners who may have missed the first part of our show, we are talking with David Rapp from Kirkus. Excuse me, my throat got clogged up there. And we are talking about indie authors' reviews. And the process is real simple. You go online to kirkusreviews.com, request a review, submit the manuscript and/or hard copy of the book. Wait patiently as they go through and review it. Then they will put up on the dashboard your account login what the review is. You can download it and then choose to use it or not use it, or publish it or not publish it on their system. So there's a lot of different options. And the cost ranges from as low as $425 up to, for regular books, they can go as high as $725, depending on the options you're choosing, whether you're expediting it or not. Did I miss anything there?
Well, we do, as you said, we do offer options for picture books, which starts at $350. And as you said, we do offer 2- and 3-book bundles, and they have their own price points. But it's all of this information is available on reviewmybook.com. And any questions, you feel free to contact us.
And you do have on the website a ton of questions that people, I assume, regularly ask. What happens after my review? Just tons and tons of stuff. There is a question
Absolutely.
about the Kirkus Star. What is that about?
Well, the Kirkus Star, this has been something that Kirkus has had since its inception. And it's basically the starred reviews are the reviews that our reviewers deem the best of the best, the truly exceptional books. And booksellers and librarians and others in the industry, they see the Kirkus Star as they respect the Kirkus Star. They know that a book that gets that is a truly remarkable and notable book. And Kirkus Indie Reviews that are also eligible for that star, and we do give out Kirkus stars. It's just a small percentage of the reviews that receive it, but the truly notable ones have received them.
When you say small percentage, because you're doing roughly 10,000 a year in reviews, what is the actual percentage? I mean, you talking about like 1%, 0.5%, what?
It's less than 10% of all the books that we review get Kirkus stars over the whole magazine, the traditional and indie side.
And just to be clear, it's 1 star. It's not a level of stars,
right.
1 to 5 or anything of that nature.
Right. It's either starred or not starred. Yeah.
Okay. And if it is starred, is there any additional benefits that the author gets other tan the fact it's been starred?
Well, I mean, certainly a starred review gets more attention because as I said, the people in the industry know that a starred review is one that is truly remarkable and is definitely worth looking at.
So for an author, if they get a star review, they can not only gloat to a certain extent, but also know that they have greater potential of sales versus a non-star.
Absolutely. Certainly. I mean, the Sylvain Nouvel, who I mentioned earlier, the science fiction author whose book Sleeping Giants was optioned for film, that review was a starred review, it certainly did not hurt when he was showing that book to people in the industry. I'm sure that they noted that the star showed that it was a book that was above and beyond others and that are reviewed.
Okay. We have 2 minutes left. Did I miss anything of value and importance about Kirkus and what it does?
No, I don't believe so. I would just like to say that the Fully Booked podcast, which does feature sponsored reviews from indie authors, as well as traditionally published authors, that can be found wherever you get your podcasts. It's one of the newer things that we offer, and yeah, I mean, just wanted to make sure that people knew about that. But yeah, and absolutely visit our website, and if you have any questions about anything, feel free to contact us.
Thank you very much for your time. I just want to make sure people understand. You had mentioned one website, which was, repeat that one again.
It's reviewmybook.com.
Okay, and if you missed that one, there's also kirkusreviews.com, which can also connect to Kirkus Indie, which is also the same. Great. Well, I thank you very much for your time. I thank you very much for your time and your information. I'm hoping a lot of our listeners who are authors understood it and will check out the website to determine which is the best route for them. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Brakefield and Berkey, 2017 award-winning authors of the Enigma series techno-thrillers, have released their first book in Audible format. The Enigma Factor is the foundational story for the series' ongoing battles against cyber assassins using technology, today's weapon of choice. Explore the digital threats of fighting for lost identity, struggling with mutant computer viruses, or commodity market manipulation. EnigmaSeries.com reveals the intrigue and intelligence of digital combat in our 21st century. Available in paperback, ebook, and now Audible format.
Ignite that love of reading into young children. The exciting adventures of Hamilton Troll are fun and educational. Children relate to Hamilton Troll as he asks questions and learns new things from squirrels, skunks, raccoons, and magical creatures. 12 award-winning storybooks and a children's cookbook with activities at hamiltontroll.com.
Jan Sykes has written a passionate love story that takes the reader on a journey from the Texas honky-tonks to prison and back again. Sheer determination and perseverance are the themes of this biographical fiction story. Nothing can destroy the love Luke Stone and Darlena Flowers share, not separation, poverty, illness, or even death. The books are available at your favorite bookstore or at books.txauthors.com.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website at indiebeacon.com.